Good afternoon and welcome to Quays News. I'm Finlay Gaynor.
And I'm Georgia Spratt. Here's what's coming up on the show today.
So we've brought the children down, with it being children in need. We've raised £500 and we've come to see Spud Bros.
Wow, and what have you done to raise the money?
We've had dressing in spots and stripes at nursery, so all the children have got involved and parents have made donations. The staff have all got involved as well, buying the pudsey outfits.
We find out how Media City are fundraising for children in need.
We are hoping this event will grow. It's doubled in numbers since last year, and this obviously next year we're hoping it'll keep on going on like a snowball effect and hopefully grow the name, reputation and keep them funds going in.
Run in the Dark returned for its second annual charity event on Wednesday night.
It's all about safety, so we've basically got to go to the union and say we've got a safe amount of numbers, they all know, how to play the game safely, and they will admit us into pubs next year. So we're on track for that at the minute. Obviously a long way to go, we're only in November, but yeah, everything's on plan, and yeah, we're just looking forward to it.
And how Salford University have expanded their American Football Society.
For our top story today, Children in Need is back.
This evening's 3-hour extravaganza will be coming to you live at 7 p.m. from Media City. The BBC promises to dazzle the nation whilst raising life-changing funds for children and young people across the UK.
BBC Children in Need is a charity that funds projects for children and young people facing challenges such as poverty, mental health and equality. Their annual fundraising event started in 1980 and has been a full success since. Last year, Media City hosted the Game On for BBC Children in Need event, which raised over 33 million. This year, Media City are hosting an appeal show, which will feature sketches, musical acts and surprises from popular celebrities in a huge effort to raise even more money. This year's show will be hosted by Adia Deppiton, Mel Gedroich, Rochelle Humes, Chris Ramsey, Lenny Rush and Vernon Kay. It's expected to be another spectacular night of fundraising with some of the nation's best loved stars.
The Office for National Statistics has reported a decline in growth of GDP for the first time in 3 months of Labour government. The economy only grew by 0.1% between July and September, a decline from the 0.5% growth in the second quarter of the year.
Our reporter Charlotte Martin joins us now. Charlotte, there has been negative news for Labour today. How come there's such a gloomy start?
Yeah, gloomy news for Labour. Rachel Reeves has not been satisfied with the statistics that's come out today. The UK ended in a recession in 2022, with June and July showing no growth, and the recent figures, the UK hasn't done well on the world stage, with 0.8% of growth in September for the construction industry, but it falling short due to the service sector only producing 0.1% of growth. It was predicted to meet the 0.2% of growth predicted but it fell a bit slow in September. Labour were elected on a campaign promised of economic growth and stability following the Tories' Conservative turbulence. But when Labour got into government, they said there was a £22 billion black hole that they weren't expecting. But this ended up with their plan seeming to be unfunded, giving instability to the markets. With a 117-day gap between the finishing of their election win and the budget, it's been one of the biggest gaps that a government has produced between their election win and the budget in 50 years.
So Charlotte, what does this mean for Greater Manchester's businesses?
Well, the budget is looking to increase a lot of public spending through big increases in business tax, with economists warning it could actually have a negative effect on the economy. National insurance rises have been predicted for businesses, have been implemented for businesses, with many businesses warning the contribution may end up being passed on to consumers. This also included an increase in the legal minimum wage, which went up from £11.44 to £12.21. The Manchester's nighttime economy advisor Sacha Lord expressed his concern with this on his social media.
So is this financial quota a one-off? Is there going to be some improvement?
Well, Reeves has said that she wants people to give her time and take time with her plans, as they're plans that need to be implemented over a long period of time. She wants people to be patient, and Reeves also stated in last night's speech that she made to the Mansion House to investors in the city that what she called she's going to implement their biggest pension reforms to unlock capital through pension. She's also implementing 80 billion extra pounds for small businesses and business spending. She also plans to cut regulation, which she says is producing red tape for the city, which she hopes will boost the economy and provide more public investment. But with the recent election of Donald Trump in the US, there's concerns in the global economy what his US tariffs might mean for the economic worldwide.
Thanks for that, Charlotte. Now, Eccles was one of the many cities to participate in Run in the Dark, an annual charity event where people ran their choice of a 5k or 10k.
This global event united thousands of people worldwide to raise funds for the Mark Pollock Trust and Collaborative Cures. Inspired by Mark Pollock's incredible journey, this movement is working towards a cure for paralysis.
Our reporter Sevi was there to tell us more.
Every November, as darkness falls around the globe, 25,000 people worldwide get out of their chairs, slip their red flashing armbands on, and put on their running shoes to complete a 5k or 10k run.
So we've got about 12 to 15 registrations for the event tonight, which is a big improvement on the 3 runners that we had last year. So we're hoping that each year will continue to grow.
This global event will brighten the night as participants run their distance to promote the cause of the Mark Pollock Trust. Together, they will run for those who dream of walking by raising funds for the organisation's charity partner, Collaborative Cures, whose purpose is to gather people together to cure paralysis in our lifetime.
So I think it's a really good cause, trying to help people fight paralysis. I like the idea of running for people that can't actually walk very well, and then I do enjoy running quite a lot. I've ran a half marathon earlier this year, so this is just a nice way to keep up on my fitness and do it in a good environment, good cause.
Unbroken by blindness in 1998, Mark Pollock became an adventure athlete, competing in ultra-endurance races over deserts, mountains, and polar ice caps, including becoming the first person to reach the South Pole. He also won silver and bronze medals in rowing at the Commonwealth Games and launched an international motivational speaking career. In 2010, he nearly died after falling from a second-story window. Mark broke his back, and the damage to his spinal cord made him paralyzed. He's now embarking on a new journey, this time to investigate the junction of humans and technology to cure paralysis in our lifetime.
We've worked with Mark Pollock, who's behind the whole Run in the Dark event. He delivered a webinar for our leadership and management students. Really powerful, very inspirational character.
We are here at the Eccles Sixth Form College, where the run has just ended. 12 people took part in what was a very successful event. 25,000 people took part globally, but the 12 here stuck together, ran their distances, and helped aid in the mission of the Mark Pollock Trust. Run in the Dark was held in around 50 cities, including Dublin, Belfast and Luxembourg. Companies across the globe entered their teams as a well-being, employee agreement, health and fitness or social well-being initiatives. Severin Jakowski, Quays News.
Thank you, Sevi. Greater Manchester have received a £250k emergency budget to reduce rough sleeping as we move into these colder months.
Salford has received the second highest cut of the money, but local borough Trafford have received none. Our reporter Lily Holt joins us with more. So Lily, what is this budget and where has it come from?
So this budget is a £500,000 so-called emergency budget that is coming to Greater Manchester and is part of a wider national emergency £10 million budget. The goal is to support people who are sleeping rough as we move into the colder winter months. This comes from Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner, who is obviously the MP for Ashton-under-Lyne, and equals the funding by the previous Conservative government. It comes after last year 155 people passed away sleeping rough in the cold winter months. Miss Rayner has promised to end sticking plaster solutions for homelessness, and hopefully this money will help her achieve that.
And Lily, how will this affect Salford?
So Salford have received the second highest cut of the money, with £69,712 going to the area. This is part of a £515,738 of budget going to Greater Manchester in total. The region will be able to use this money to support people and find them what the government is calling a safe and warm place to sleep throughout the winter months. And it comes after, in September, Manchester Evening News revealed that 1 in every 33 children in Manchester are living without a permanent home.
So why has Trafford missed out then?
So it is true that Trafford have not received any of the funding. The government have said that the funding will go to the boroughs that need it most. So clearly the people who are deciding how they are going to allocate this money have decided that the rough sleeping issue in Trafford does not warrant them receiving any of the money. However, people in Trafford should not stress, because there has been a massive boost in social and affordable housing in the nation, with £500 million of new funding going to Greater Manchester to deliver up to 5,000 new social homes. Councils in the area will also be able to keep 100% of the profit for right to buy sales, meaning that they can reinvest more and more into social housing, and this does affect Trafford as well. So they will be able to get part of this social housing prospect.
Thank you, Lily. Salford University are making waves on the American football pitch this season.
Salford Storm have recruited over 100 people to get involved in the society.
But before they're allowed to compete at university level, they'll need to compete in 5 contact friendlies. Our reporter Charlie Sutton went to find out more.
American football is a sport that struggled to make it out its origin country. However, over 4,000 miles away, the sport is building popularity at Salford University.
We had a cheeky trick of trying to poach rugby players, which worked. There's some extra rugby lads down here. Big thing is just making the club kind of attractive and want to get put in to get people involved. Obviously, recruitment was a big part of it, freshers fair, social media. It's just something the club never really had, and we've elevated that.
The Storm are also breaking down boundaries in the world of university sports, as they are the first contact sport at Salford to have a mixed team.
It can be nerve-wracking at the beginning, but I just kind of not to let their expectations get to me, because they obviously expect women not as strong. I'm not playing at the moment, I did injure myself, but when I'm back in it, I'll definitely give it my 100 and show that women are just as powerful too.
The team train here down at Peel Park as they prepare for a midweek clash against Nottingham. Salford Storm are one of the fastest growing societies at the university, with over 50 players and coaches from all over the world.
The Texan defensive back coach Maxwell Spivey talked to us about the differences of facilities between Salford and the States.
Well, so it's a growing sport over here compared to, so Texas is where I'm from, and you grow up playing it. From 6 years old, you got a pair of pads on, you're playing football. So it's growing over here. Hopefully it will catch up to the States in terms of, facilities and, the amount of people that want to play it. However, it's a great stepping stone to where it is now.
Despite £600 of investment from coaches, the Storm are yet to be an official Bucks team. Bocott tells us what they need to do to become official.
But it's all about safety. So we've basically got to go to the union and say, we've got a safe amount of numbers, they all know, how to play the game safely, and they will admit us into Bucks next year. So we're on track for that at the minute. Obviously a long way to go, we're only in November, but yeah, everything's on plan.
Salford Storm are ready to take on the Bucks leagues. Charlie Sutton, Quays News.
Rugby Football Club is to receive the King's Award for Voluntary Service in 2024. The award is the highest a local voluntary group can receive in the UK, and it recognises outstanding work by local volunteer groups to support their communities. All work in running in the club is taken by volunteers, with only a paid bar staff. Chris Gaffey, chairman of Eccles RFC, said in an article on the club's website that over 128 people have volunteered in the club in the last year. He said that the volunteers can be very proud of their personal contribution to this achievement.
Wow, what an achievement. Well done, Eccles.
Now, James is with us for more sporting news. James, What can you tell us?
Thanks, guys. Interim manager Lee Carsley's England faced Greece last night and ended up securing a 3-0 win, rectifying their controversial loss to them last month. Debutant Curtis Jones continued his stellar start to the season by getting himself on the scoresheet with a stunning flick goal, accompanied by Watkins also adding to his own tally. Overall, it was a fantastic performance by England, who now look to the next game against Ireland, where they could secure a top of the group finish. In other news, 58-year-old Mike Tyson returns to the ring to face off against Jake Paul in the early hours of Saturday morning in a highly anticipated fight. In the latest face-off, Iron Mike slaps Jake Paul, leading to him saying things are now personal for him in this fight. The bookies are backing Paul in the fight, undoubtedly due to the amount of time Tyson has spent out of the ring. That's all from me. Back to you guys.
Thank you for joining us this week. Don't forget to check out our socials at Quays TV.
We will be back next week with more news. Goodbye.
Goodbye.